Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Matthew, as you know, and today I wanted to share my mid-season thoughts about the Bad Batch Season 3 with you. I really have been loving this season. I want to say, and this is not even like a jab at the Star Wars we grew up loving, but if this season ends strong, I really do think this season rivals seasons of the Clone Wars. Like, it is that good. Of course, since this video covers episodes 4 through 9, my thoughts on the fresher episodes are going to be towards the back half of this video, so there are timestamps. Blah, blah, blah. There are timestamps in the description if you want to move around, because I definitely have some theories for where the end of the season's going to go. So for episode 4, I really just want to say, if you went back and watched my season 2 of the Bad Batch trailer reactions, I was convinced they were going to have Cody killed by Crosshair, and I got so mad at just the thought of that, and I really admittedly did not like Crosshair's character during season 2. And this is me being honest, you know, so I'm going to say I like Crosshair now, and it might be being a hypocrite, but not just, oh, I'm mad at him in season 2. I didn't think he was being written well, and I'm so glad to have been proved wrong in this season. He's come around full circle. I'm really enjoying his character. But yeah, Crosshair and Omega's relationship in episode 4 and then in 5, them getting closer, I've been really enjoying that relationship. In episode 5 of the Bad Batch, his brothers still don't trust him, but in the end he kind of makes up with Hunter, and the Bad Batch is as back to normal as it's gonna get, I think. I really liked Crosshair honoring Mayday as well. I thought that was great. What really was so sad about episodes 6 and 7 is I feel like the clones, these clones that are left, they all made it through the entirety of the Clone Wars. They fought hard, and at the end of the day, the clones had hand-to-hand combat training, but most of the time, of course, they were killing the droid army. And that's what a majority, if not all, of their training was in. We've absolutely seen tons of badass clones in the Clone Wars. We've seen Rex fight humanoids, the Bad Batch as well. During the Clone Wars, there's not many times that the clones are fighting humanoids. I mean, you've got the Umbara arc. Man, I theorized in the Bad Batch Season 3 final trailer reaction that Fireball and Mimic would die, and so far my death predictions, I haven't missed. And I'm so sad that I was right. It was a bit of a shock to see that one clone assassin able to bring down so many clones on his own, and it just made me think, I wonder how much actual training fighting humanoids and people that can think and make decisions for themselves rather than the droid army. It made me wonder how much experience fighting humanoids that these clones had, because I thought it was surprising the clone assassin was able to take them all down. But then again, maybe it shouldn't be if the theories everyone has that it's Tech or Cody are true. I gotta say, I was getting so attached to Nemik and Hauser. There's just something they do so right about the clones. And Nemik died. I was so sad seeing Nemik die. It's crazy how much they have us all loving the clones, because I don't think Nemik has even 5 minutes of screen time in the entire show. But he got shot in the back and I was like, oh, my heart dropped. Especially Hauser's reaction as well. What's interesting is it seemed like Hauser outranked Nemik, but you know, these are different times and it's just their brothers at this point. Like, their rank didn't matter anymore. So yeah, it just, damn. What hurts more, too, is I really do think the theories are right for sure that it's Tech or Cody that is the clone assassin, and especially if that was Tech or Cody shooting their own brother. Damn. I loved Rex and Wolf seeing each other. I literally out loud, I was like, Wolf, don't do it. I thought he was going to start firing on the squad, to be honest, because I was like, maybe his chip is still active. Who knows? I really liked Crosshair babying Omega, and she was like, you're worse than Hunter, and he was like, I'm much worse. I love that shit. I also thought it was interesting how Hauser and Crosshair were butting heads at first, and then by the end of the episode, Hauser trusted Crosshair and saved him from the clone assassin. Another detail that's never even said in the show, it's just one of those things you know, have to observe and take into account yourself. All of the Bad Batch are all shooting the clones to kill now. I know people in seasons 1 and 2 of the Bad Batch, there were complaints about them stunning so many people, but as we saw in episodes 6 and 7, they're done. They've had enough. They're killing clones now. Everything. TK Troopers, doesn't matter. Going back to Nemik's death, I mean, I know they can't stop because they're getting shot at and they're just trying to survive, but just the thought of Nemik's body being left in the dirt, Makes me upset. So I wrote this note the day that I watched episode 7, you guys, and I'm going to tell y'all what I thought then, but I do think at the end of the video I'll have slightly different thoughts. I wrote them showing us the brainwashed clone surviving the waterfall made me think it was Tech who was beating the shit out of Crosshair. I don't know how I feel about that. I think Star Wars and the MCU need to respect great characters' endings. Like, I hate that the MCU brought Loki back. If it is Tech, it's also pissing me off that he killed Fireball and Nemec. I try to watch Star Wars creators, you know, the bigger ones, videos to see kind of what they say, because I feel like they have a lot of influence and voice that they share with other Star Wars fans, of course. I'm not gonna lie, Star Wars Theory really pissed me off. He called Fireball and Nemec 501st Clone Troopers, and then he didn't realize that they died somehow after watching the episode. I don't know, I'm trying not to slander, but sometimes when I watch his videos, it's because he's the biggest creator, so I want to see what the biggest creator thinks. And it's moments like that I'm just like, bro, are you watching it high as fuck? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Motherfucker. I woke up the next morning, by the way, and I was still mad. Like, I woke up and I was just thinking about Nemec and Fireball being dead, and Samson, and Greer, and I was like, fuck. Now, Wolf was really interesting. He still seems to be very by the books. It makes me wonder, like, if he even was swayed by seeing, like, Plo Koon got blown up, and Wolf is not the clone that killed him. It was one of the Wolfpack's Jesus almighty hell. Starship Troopers. What am I saying? Holy hell, man. One of the Wolfpack's clone pilots. Holy shit. That was a struggle. I wonder if Wolf truly... I mean, it seems like he truly believes the Jedi betrayed the Republic, and in his mind, the Empire, because Wolf clearly seems to be of sound mind and serving the Empire, not viewing it the same as the Bad Batch, where the Bad Batch was like, we serve the Republic, not this Empire. It doesn't seem like Wolf cares. But he did let Rex go, which makes me worried for him, because I think Clone Commando Hilo will definitely tell Hemlock that Wolf let them go, and I think Wolf could start to be put in the Clone Assassin program by the time that the Bad Batch and Rex raid Mount Tantus. I'm wondering if we will actually get to see in this series Wolf be saved by Rex and Gregor and get his chip removed to where it makes sense that he's in Rebels with them, or if they'll save that answer for a different series. Kind of like how fans, including myself, I really want to see Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker's first meeting, and as awesome as it was seeing them together in the MandoVerse, I really did love their scenes, and Dave Filoni confirmed online that we will get to see their meeting someday. So I'm keeping him to that. I want to see that. And I want to see how Wolf gets saved too. So now talking about episode 8. This isn't something I saw any other creators mention, but Fennec tells Hunter and Wrecker that Omega's bounty in season 1 was called off. And that's the only reason that Fennec let Omega go. And I was wondering to myself, I was like, who could have called the bounty off? I guess it means Hemlock did. But then that doesn't... I'm wondering if I should even be thinking about this question, because I didn't see anybody else talk about this. I don't understand why whoever would have had the bounty on the Omega would have called it off, especially if it was Hemlock, because, well, I guess maybe... I think I just answered my question. It's probably because Hemlock didn't understand that Omega's blood could be used to help create what I believe is Project Necromancer, like a new body for Palpatine. Honestly, y'all, if Fennec has to do with getting any Batcher killed, I am done with her. Done. And you don't understand. Like, I get gray characters, but when I care about characters enough, if you have anything at all to do with their death, fuck you. Like, I see online fans saying they want more Fox sometimes. Nah, fuck him. He killed Fives. But he was just doing his duty, bitch, okay? Saw Gerrera is blinded by his hate and got Tech killed. Fuck him. Forever. Also in episode 8, holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. Fennec mentions that the bounty that she is going to have Hunter and Wrecker help her with, he was a fighter and bounty hunter on Ordo Eris, which is from Jedi Fallen Order. I love that connection. I love it. I love it when Star Wars creators give respect to the canon video games. I really appreciate the subtle keeping the game story connected to the overarching plot of Star Wars, and gently letting casual fans know the game's importance and that it's canon. They also did this with Braca in the Bad Batch Season 1. A lot of fans hoped we would see Cal Kestis there. We didn't, but just knowing that he's there somewhere trying to hide from the Empire, it was cool to get to visit Braca in animation. So yeah, Ordo Eris is the planet that the Haxian brood who works for Sork Tormo kidnaps Cal Kestis and takes him there to fight in the arena. And he has to fight his way out and escape. What's also sad to realize is Ordo Eris is a part of Polis Massa, which was destroyed before the events of Episode 3. And so it's sad to see, in the character encyclopedia for Star Wars, it says Leia Organa's home planet is Alderaan and Luke's is Tatooine. But in reality, they were both born on Polis Massa, and it's where their mother died. And it's sad to see where Polis Massa was a part of the Republic and Revenge of the Sith. It's now fallen to piracy in the Age of the Empire. I love how much of a head-ass Ventress is being in Episode 9. I love the part where Omega keeps yapping and Ventress grabs her cheeks and she's like, enough questions. I'm really enjoying Ventress in this episode, y'all. Even the part where she tells Omega, she's like, stop smiling, it's unsettling. Man, y'all, I to be honest, I almost teared up at Ventress's scene showing Omega the Force. We never had many times where we were fully following Ventress's story in the Clone Wars, but we saw her soft spot for her sisters, then again with the Princess Heist she did with Boba and company, then her relating to Ahsoka being betrayed by her order like she was betrayed by Dooku and Grievous. I really hope it's still true that the events of Dark Disciple are canon, if slightly bended, because that means this is a Ventress that somehow survived Dooku's lightning, and this to me showed her full circle being at peace of mind and heart, mostly, when she was able to commune with the Vrathian and make it calm down. I loved that. Love that so much. Now, we know from the Kenobi show that Quinlan Vos is still alive and was at one point in contact with the Hidden Path. But the Hidden Path fell to Vader in Jedi Survivor, but not before Cal erased the records of other Jedi. Which, this is what I find so funny too, is because I have so many friends that refuse to even watch the cutscene movie of Fallen Order in Survivor. But what I love about Cal Kestis' story is without Cal and Seer Junda stopping Vader and helping erase the records before Vader could get through the Hidden Path's base on Jedha, Cal erased the records, saving Voss, Kerrigan, Grogu, Kenobi's location, and the catalyst to save the Chosen One, Luke Skywalker himself, from ever being discovered by the Empire. I wonder if Ventress is still in contact with Quinlan right now in the show. Man, I just really loved her communing with the Vrathian. I just love that so much. I feel like we're seeing her full circle now. She's definitely still a hard ass, but seeing her at peace in the Force, I'm not good at describing everything perfectly, but I really love that scene. I love that scene. Crosshair helps Omega and then Ventress up the stairs. That shit had me grinning so hard, y'all. Just seeing them trusting her now. And I gotta say, y'all, this season has really made me realize how much I missed and enjoy Ventress and Commander Cody. Now, you might be slightly confused why I mentioned Cody. Shit, you guys. Cody's episode in Season 2 really made me think about him more. And he hasn't even been in Season 3 at all, you guys. Unless he's the clone assassin. The reason I'm bringing him up, though, is because I feel like I haven't actually watched the Star Wars movies in a long time. I probably should, but my main focus and excitement has been on the new Star Wars projects that are coming, that we've been receiving over the last few years, Whether it be MandoVerse, Kenobi, the Boba Fett show, the Bad Batch, Andor. And what the beginning and throughout Season 3 has made me realize every episode, I've realized how much I truly, truly, truly want Cody to survive. So much so that I would rather the answer being that maybe he's out there somewhere living on some backwater world as a farmer. I would prefer that to Cody being the clone assassin. Now here's what I'm going to say, y'all. I mentioned this earlier in the video. I think that Cody is going to be the clone assassin and that they are going to respect Tech's death. I think that the brainwashing on the clone assassins is so good that he isn't going to be able to break out of it. And I think it'll be a situation similar to the Winter Soldier, where Cap and Bucky are fighting and Cap is struggling and struggling and struggling to break Bucky out of his programming. This is my prediction for Cody, y'all. I think that Rex is going to realize that Cody is the clone assassin, and that Rex is going to be fighting Cody and trying to break his programming, make him realize he's fighting his own brothers and break him out of it. And it's going to get to a situation where Cody has one of the Batchers with a knife to their neck, or Omega herself. And Rex just cannot break his brother's programming. And Rex is going to have to shoot Cody and kill his brother to save his friends. And I think Cody's going to die in Rex's arms. And then in Star Wars Rebels, where Rex has that panic attack in the middle of the fight where he screams Cody's name, and Kanan and Ezra are like, what's wrong, what's wrong? I think it's going to make that make sense. I think Cody is going to be killed by Rex. And that's again why I say, y'all, I will be crying like a bitch. I can fully admit that. I want Cody. I would rather, like I said, I would rather there be no answer where I can pretend that Cody's out there living on a farm, but I really do think that Dave Filoni is going to kill our boy. Now, at the end of episode 9, Ventress warns the Batch they aren't as safe as they think they are on Pabu, which is true, as we see in the trailer, the clone assassins standing with a garrison of TK troops right in front of the large tree on Pabu. I think this could be Cody. She also says Omega would need to be trained to use the Force, or her high M count means nothing. Now, there are rumors that the Bad Batch show is going to spawn a new animated series. That line from Ventress makes me think in the end of the Bad Batch, they really could all die, or at least have to let Omega go to be trained. And Omega's story will continue elsewhere. One thing that's great about Omega, I know fans were annoyed by her in the beginning of Season 1, but she will have gained an essential survival skill and important thing from each one of her brothers independently, and take all that combined knowledge with her as she goes to study the Force. So in the beginning of episode 10, we get Bane kidnapping Force-sensitive children, just like he did in the Clone Wars. Seeing Bane again was really cool. I would love, now that there's a Tales of the Empire trailer out, which I will be making a reaction to, I would love to see Bane come back and for him to be in a Tales of the Bounty Hunters series and get 3 episodes to himself. In this episode, Emery's promoted to the lead scientist, and she gets friendly to the Force-sensitive kids that are at Tantus. She ends up feeling guilty for the atrocities of the Empire, and this is the only episode we don't see the Bad Batch in, which means this is going to be important for a choice Emery's going to make later in the end of the series, I bet. Episode 11 begins with Fee getting stalked by the assassin, which is, if it's brainwashed tech, crazy he had no emotion, you know? And we learn the assassin visited Sid. Man, with the darker tone of this season, I wish Hunter would have gotten rid of Sid for selling them out and getting Omega caught. The clone assassin almost kills Wrecker. Then the assassin kills his own TK pilot to try and eliminate Hunter. To be honest, with the dark tone in this season, I honestly believe that Dave Filoni was about to have the assassin tell the garrison to execute the civilians. Crosshair agreed to Omega's plan, but she fails to sneak the comm past the assassin, and Crosshair fails to attach his homing beacon to the ship when the TK troops shoot on him. Shoot at him. They shoot lasers. They shoot lasers at him, to clarify. Episode 12 is one of those episodes that, you know, I'm gonna make a full video just on filler and defending oh my god, the word is used way too much. Anyways, episode 12 is accused of being filler, but I really love that the Bad Batch isn't all happy-go-lucky with each other. The beginning of this episode reminded me of the Season 2 episode where Tech and Rever have a massive argument, and it was because Wrecker got them stuck in a mine. I remember because it was an episode people called filler. But it set up the finale of Season 2 because unlike lighter Star Wars projects, Tech and Wrecker never reconciled. And Tech died before Wrecker could ever apologize to him. So I really enjoyed this opening scene where Hunter and Wrecker are upset Crosshair agreed with Omega's plan. But, like Crosshair says, he does have a solution to find Tantus. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to talk about it more in my video I have dedicated to defending Star Wars quote-unquote filler. But I really do feel like this episode is our last kind of Bad Batch adventure quest episode. And it was called filler, but to me it's directly explaining how the Bad Batch is going to find the coordinates to Tantus. Really interesting too, we get Rampart back in this episode. He looks very different. It was really cool seeing him in this light. I don't think he's going to be one of those Imperials turned rebels like Iden Versio or Agent Callus. But I think that, you know, the Bad Batch helped him escape, so if he doesn't want to be sent back to the prison or killed by them, he's going to help them. I really enjoyed this episode too, though. The Bad Batch not pulling any punches. killing whoever gets in their way. I also like the banter back and forth between Rampart and Crosshair. Rampart's like, "Are you going to kill me?" Crosshair's like, "I'd certainly like to." Love that. It was a really fun episode. I really liked the action in it. Also, Rampart getting ragdoll tossed around was great. Also, this is one of those things you just have to witness, and they don't really like shove it in your face. You just have to observe the detail, you know? I really liked how willing Fee was to help them because, like I said about season 2, the Bad Batch, people called the episodes on the island filler, but the whole point of it was to show you the Bad Batch had an out. They could have the happy, peaceful life living in the fishing village, but they chose to get back into the action to save their brothers, to save Omega and all that. And the point of Fee's character to me in season 2 was really showing that with Tech. That Tech, more than the rest of his brothers, had a chance at love, maybe building a family. And because he was brave, because he chose to help Crosshair and the other brothers that were stuck on Tantus, he lost that potential future. So just thinking about that again during this episode, I really liked how willing Fee was to help them, because she even mentioned Brown Eyes. She mentioned Tech in the episode. And Fee is extremely cool and calm in every situation we've ever seen her in. But I liked seeing her in this episode. It made me think, you know, that she lost someone that she wanted to have a future with, but she knows that what Tech sacrificed his life for was to save his brothers, including Crosshair, who last time Tech saw him was not really a friend. So yeah, I really liked episode 12. I thought it had a lot of cool details. I like the action. I'm really loving Crosshair's character too. There's not many episodes left though, so I'm kind of wondering, you know, are we going to have the clone uprising and taking down Tantus? And that kind of being an answer for how Project Necromancer and Palpatine's cloning project doesn't get completely wrecked, but gets so much damage done to it that it puts his progress back like 50 years. I'm wondering though too, you know, like again about Wolf getting his chip removed and joining Rex and Gregor. There's not much time left in this series, and it's called The Bad Batch, so I'm starting to think we'll see that in another project, if not seeing it at all, you know? Just watched episode 13, ladies and gentlemen. This one is definitely going to be accused of being filler, for sure. One thing I think is really cool with this episode is they went back to the old Kaminoan planet with the floating sky cities where Finnick and Cad Bane fought over Omega. I also really liked Crosshair in this episode because in the Bad Batch arc in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, the Batch didn't really trust Echo whenever Rex and the Bad Batch too helped free Echo, but they didn't trust him. And there's that pivotal moment in that arc where Echo is going to either betray the Republic and help the Separatists when he's attached to that console in Trench's flagship, or he's going to help the Republic. And Crosshair steps forward to stop him, but Hunter and Rex stopped Crosshair, even though Hunter was still wary of Echo as well. So I really liked in this episode that Rampart was like, Echo's gonna fail. And Crosshair was like completely matter of fact. He was like, it's Echo. He'll pull through. I love that shit. Also, it's really interesting the depths of the secrecy of Tantus. That this, even the way they thought like the last resort was getting Rampart, and then the last resort with Rampart was to get on the ship, or to steal the codes by going to Coruscant, and even that didn't work, so they had to launch with the ship to Tantus. This is really interesting too, y'all, because for sure this episode will be called filler, but what's interesting now is a lot of people don't like the week-to-week episode release, and that is interesting. I'm not even, you know, I'll defend against quote-unquote filler, but I feel like that is a fair criticism. And, you know, I'm still going to take in the Star Wars content and enjoy it as it comes. But, for example, my best friend is living in Rome right now, and he hadn't had access to Disney+. And he just recently got access. So he actually, in the last 2 days, has binge-watched the first 12 episodes of Bad Batch back to back to back to back to back to back. And that flow for him has made him very much excited and really invested in the characters. And I feel like I'm excited and invested in the characters too. But yeah, I do feel like there is something to be said about how seeing the product as a whole at once could be a better viewing experience. But regardless of that, though, y'all, what this episode's made clear by the end, to me at least, is that the last 3 episodes of this show, even though people are going to say this episode wasn't that great, the last 3 episodes are probably all within the same day. So even though we're going to get them spoon-fed to us over a couple weeks, the last 3 episodes, you know, when you watch season 3 again in a year and a half from now, basically the last 3 episodes is an arc. Like, that is the finale. Speaking of finale, this episode, again, like, I wouldn't trade in, I've spent this time defending filler, you know, I wouldn't trade in any of the world-building moments they've done, but we've seen plenty of other animated shows, like Invincible, for example, willing to do the longer episodes. And there's always been something with Disney, you know, like, I don't know how they could look at, you know, they want to spoon-feed content, I guess, to keep subscriptions. Maybe it's as simple as that. But even still, I know Dave Filoni loves Star Wars, so I'm not sure, you know, I'm worried that, well, first of all, I think the last 2 episodes of The Bad Batch are going to be slam bang finale, all action-packed, emotional, everything. I really am confident it will be. But also, if it's 2 20-minute episodes, I feel like that probably isn't going to be enough time to wrap up all the plot lines, or maybe even not be as good as it could have been. And I don't know if, like, saying that is going against what I've been saying this whole 20 minutes. But again, like, I still value all the little world building moments, seeing the backwater corners of the galaxy, all the little details. I love all of that content in the show, and I really wouldn't trade it in. In my mind, people are gonna say after this episode that the show needs to get to the point, and I'm excited for the slam bang epic finale, you know, and I really do think, again, that they're gonna do it well. But I also feel like it could be longer. I mean, y'all know from my season 2 trailer reaction, I wished in the first place, I was like, I could have watched 6 seasons of this show. So yeah, y'all, of course I would love more of the characters, but that probably is not going to happen. I'm really scared for the Bad Batch, you guys. In the final little teaser trailer for this show, we got Crosshair talking to the group and saying, if we go in, we won't all make it out. And that sent chills down my spine, you guys, and I think it's true. So you guys, that's what I think about the Bad Batch Season 3 so far. I really have been enjoying it. I think it's on par, if not better, than certain seasons of the Clone Wars. I think it would be fun. It would be tedious as hell, but it would be fun to someday do a ranking of all of the Star Wars animated shows, like every single episode. It maybe would be a long-ass video. I sometimes wonder, though, if that would be fun to get my official ranking done. I think that would be cool, but it would be so damn tedious. It would probably require a rewatch of the entire Star Wars Skywalker saga. I'm really enjoying this though, y'all. I really want Cody to live so damn badly. I really think they're gonna kill him though. I'm so fucking scared that he's gonna die. Rampart in Season 2 told Crosshair that Cody left the Empire. I feel like Cody's gonna be a clone assassin, you guys. I'm so damn scared for him. Honestly, I'm so damn scared for the whole Bad Batch as well. I will say, y'all, I've been seeing so many people complain about filler, and I actually commented on a big Star Wars creators YouTube video and got a lot of people agreeing with me over the creator that this show is not filled with filler. I want to make a whole video talking about filler one last time, y'all, because I feel like I've yapped so damn much about why the quote-unquote filler isn't filler. I'll just say shortly for this video, I feel like those people, whenever we have an epic ending for Cody or an epic ending for Crosshair's character, and those creators are like, wow, I really loved Crosshair's story, I'm gonna be like, did you though? Because all these episodes with his development where he's going around this planet with Omega, and it's kind of like a father and daughter thing going on, and they're getting closer and closer. That's what you call a filler episode. Anyways, y'all, I am going to be making a video entirely separate about what people are saying is filler, which isn't filler. I'm going to make a video about it, and then I'm going to never mention it again because I feel like I've talked about it too much. But I have to make one last official statement, roasting people. Anyways, y'all, feel free to share what you think. Loving the season so far. I'll definitely be making a video over my final thoughts of this season for sure. If you want, click the bell to stay notified for that, as well as more Elden Ring videos finishing up that story. You guys have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.
command post. Hostile reinforcements are dropping.